Hello, everyone, to Reshoot, an amateur's guide to gooder film. Today, we're looking at Rain of Fire. I don't know, I said it like that.
I'm a much better sounding Eduardo Soler.
I'm Hector Carlo.
I'm Ruthie Carlo.
How about I give the synopsis this time? Let's
Okay.
let's the person who picks the movie do the synopsis.
That
Oh
works.
God, I'm next, and the next one's gonna be freaking weird. So I hate you for this, but let's do it.
I mean, it's good to just continue a good structure throughout.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right.
Good structure. So yeah.
What if the audience picks it though? What if we get an audience pick?
Then we
just
either rock,
whoever.
paper, scissors, or duel to the death
In Smash Bros.
with pool noodles. There's
in
no
Smash
other way.
Bros.
In Smash Bros.
No pool noodles. You
But
coward.
Ed, I'm gonna win.
Excuse me?
No, it's obvious I'm gonna win with Piranha Plant, guys.
I need to re-download Piranha
Plant is
Plant.
actually not that bad.
Huh?
Plant is actually not that bad.
You used to hate him back in the day. Anyway.
Okay, fine. I'll play with Sonic.
All right.
I will no. I refuse to play Sonic.
No, she plays Sonic.
No, I'm playing Sonic.
Yeah, I refuse
Sonic's
to
my
play
main.
against Sonic. I refuse to play against Sonic. I can't.
All right.
Noom.
So are we ready to?
Noom.
All right, Ed, go for it.
All right. This week, or whatever, we are doing the 2002 movie Rain of Fire, starring Matthew McConaughey, Christian Bale, Isabella Scorupco, something like that. I don't.
We're sorry, Isabella, if you listen to this.
Scorupco. Yeah, that. Isabella Scorupco. Use that one. And Gerard Butler. Quick synopsis of the movie is Quinn, Christian Bale, but as a 12-year-old boy, goes to where his mom works in like mining something near London. The mining company comes into this big void, this big empty room, cave in the cave where there shouldn't be anything. And Quinn comes in and accidentally wakes up a dragon. And then it escapes and makes its way out, kills Quinn's mom, and then it skips to, I think, 18 years later or something like that, the year 2020. And after those 18 years, the dragons have pretty much taken over the entire planet, killed most, if not the vast majority of humans, it seems like, after humans tried to retaliate to kill them, but there were just millions of them at some point. And it goes to Christian Bale with his band of like survivors or something living in a castle somewhere in England near London. Yeah, and they're just trying to survive, pretty much. There's dragons around. They don't really try to fight the dragons. They just hide and stuff like that. Eventually, some Americans show up with Matthew McConaughey being the American with Isabella
Van Zandt.
Bucco.
Also, we got given him the name Van Zandt.
Van Zandt. Oh yeah, his name. What was it?
It was Van Zandt.
It was Van Zandt.
It's really cool.
Yeah, what was his first name? Whatever. Yeah, Van Zandt.
They didn't say it. It was just Van Zandt.
They did. They did.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, I just remember Van Zandt.
A dragon ate his first name. It was very traumatic.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey's character's name was Denton Van Zandt.
I like my theory that his first name was just Eaton instead. I'm going to include that in my portion of the reshoot.
Eaton?
Yes, the dragon ate his first name.
Oh, okay. So Van Zandt shows up with he said rebuilt U.S. Army battalion or whatever, with a tank that they don't utilize in the entire movie, and like some trucks and whatever. And he confronts, or Christian Bale goes up to him asking what the fuck he's doing here, an American in England. And Van Zandt says that he is there because he kills a dragon and something else, needs supplies. Quinn confronts him. Van Zandt says that he's looking for supplies and then says he killed a dragon or multiple. And they have a very specific way of killing those dragons. Eventually, a dragon shows up, and Van Zandt's people Alex is what's God, I can't remember her
Isabella.
name. Isabella's character, her name is Alex. She's the helicopter pilot, and they do their little dive thing to get nets on the dragon's wing to try and bring it down. It doesn't work out, but they do kill the dragon by like hitting it with a really big harpoon in its chest or something like that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. And then it is revealed that they're not there for supplies, or well, kind of they're there for supplies, but they are actually there because they kind of figured out that the dragons, there's one male, the rest are females, and Alex said they work like fish, like the females just lay a bunch of eggs and the male comes around and fertilizes them. There's only one, that's why there's so many. And they go off they want to kill the male. Quinn says no because of things. Van Zam goes out, they get ambushed by the dragon before anything really happens. The dragon backtracks where Van Zam came from and attacks the castle, killing people and making Quinn very angry. Van Zam comes back, apologizes, and then Van Zam and Alex go off to London to kill the male dragon. They fly there in the helicopter, Hector.
I forgot the helicopter was survived the first.
They have like
the first attack against a male.
Yeah, they have a pretty cool fight, and Quinn successfully kills the dragon with a crossbow explosive tip.
Yeah,
it's got a C4 explosive on the tip. They shoot it into the mouth right before it breathes fire, and it causes like a reaction, and it explodes pretty much. And the movie ends pretty much. And God, first thing, why does there have to be a romance in every single movie?
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Finally, someone says it.
No. Also, there was only like 2 women in the entire movie.
Yeah, did not pass the Bechdel test.
There was Quinn's mom, and there was Alex.
Yeah, so it's got a 50% survival rate.
There was also...
Don't say the female dragons. That does not count.
No, like... Gerard Butler's character Creedy's had a wife, and then like Eddie also had a wife.
Okay, but she wasn't named.
And they were only there for like a scene or 2.
Yeah.
And there was also little kids. You can't say the little kids. You don't say little kids, but again, they didn't really have names. I'm talking about like important characters that are female.
Yeah, but it's a 2002 movie, so.
Also, you can tell it's a 2002 movie because of the blue filter on everything.
Blue filter?
There's like a dark filter. I noticed in the very beginning in the flashback. It gets less noticeable because everything else gets darker after that scene. But like in the beginning, there's that like 2000s, early 2000s filter that was being used, like a darker. It makes everything just slightly darker, right?
If you Ed, have you ever seen Twilight?
Oh,
have you?
That's all you had to say. Yeah, Twilight has the blue filter, right? I remember it being pretty blue.
Yeah, it had it. They look very similar in that regard.
Was I the one who called it out first?
Yeah, but this movie...
We were both thinking it, but you said first.
This movie was really dark, however. Darker than Twilight, from what I remember at least. It still had the blue filter, but
darker visually?
Do you mean thematically or like
visually, like lights?
No, it was dark. There was a few scenes where I was like, what? Like, there was a scene where I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you like about the movie?
What did I like? Something I can say about cinematography was it was pretty standard for the most part, or like shots in general. But I really liked, number one, is they kind of, since it's 2002, the visual effects aren't spectacular, and they kind of hid that with a lot of very obstructing shots when looking at a dragon. It's like through something, so you only get bits and pieces. The movie itself being dark and the dragons being dark, And what else? Very quick shots. Sometimes if you actually can see the whole dragon. I like that because it like I know they wanted to show the dragons more, but I like this better because it keeps that like dread thing. It actually made the dragons scarier when you actually see them from just like the very few times you get like very quick glimpses of it. I really, really like that. Number two was they know how to make shots or like action scenes look just straight up cool. The dive scene when they're like skydiving trying to get the nets on the dragon was amazing. Very, very intense, very cool looking in general, and also the standoff at the end was insane. That's like the number one part that makes me remember this movie. And another time was actually when the male dragon attacks the castle. It's at night, so hiding the bad CGI. It's still, you could still tell it was kind of CGI, but it was just like right next to the castle, just breathing fire down there, and its wings were just like covering it. And then the really cool scene where it just climbs over the castle, jumps off, and like swoops. It's fucking crazy. Loved how cool just everything looks and how they made the dragons actually scary by trying to hide the bad CGI. I don't know if that was actually intentional because it did seem like they wanted to show off the dragons. It's just that they're like, this doesn't look very good. Let's like cover it up a little bit. But if it was intentional, good choice. Very good choice. And yeah, that's what I liked about the movie. Basically, that's all.
Oh.
That is a short list. Oh no. Well, oh no or oh yes. That is the point.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Right. Is it an oh no or an oh yes? What about, so wait, do I just keep going?
Yeah.
No, what's what you just... Yeah,
yeah, just so what you like, what you dislike.
Oh, what I dislike.
And how you fix it.
There were bits of dialogue that were really off. Just a few lines. You could tell the actors were not 100% with that line in particular. Van Zam's Matthew McConaughey is a fucking god. He can work with anything. He's the best part of the movie by far. Better than the dragons, honestly. And
the crazy eyes.
The crazy eyes, yeah. He plays this like PTSD, like dealing with it kind of soldier guy.
I kind of got like cult leader vibes too.
That was yeah.
That's true. Very culty, very cult leader vibes as well with a battle axe.
Yeah.
He has a battle axe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is fucking awesome. Which got me so hyped for the Monster Hunter movie that's coming out, or that already came out. I guess I missed one thing that I liked, which was Van Zant, Matthew McConaughey's character. All the other characters were kind of a bit of a miss for me. Alex was not very believable as a soldier, or especially at the end. What was Gerard Butler's character's name?
Creedy.
Was kind of... I mean, he was kind of needed to just die, though.
He was the comic relief, though. He kept everything kind of light.
Yeah.
Which was surprising for Butler.
And he was kind of needed because Quinn needed somebody to riff off of because Jared was... I didn't like Jared. Well, I mean, I liked Jared, but I didn't like how they portrayed Jared. I'll get into that later.
The kid?
Yeah.
Quinn's adoptive son, pretty much. Adopted son.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just... You know, there was an exposition. I mean, like Gerard Butler's character literally says, "I'm your best friend."
Yeah,
18
that
Yeah.
years
bothered me
kind of
too.
stuff. Like I'm like, you know, if you just like kept going, we would have got it. That they're very close.
Especially with the Star Wars scene, right?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
I love that scene.
They-
That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
they have a play and they're reenacting the fight between Darth Vader and Luke in Episode 5. It's
Yeah,
pretty funny. White Knight and
it was
Dark
really
Knight,
cool.
or Black Knight, I forget. Yeah, it was really funny. Gerard Butler, yeah, good character. Quinn, however, like the entire movie, he's just about survival. They have that little prayer thing where it's like, when we wake, keep both eyes on this guy. When we sleep, keep one eye on this guy. And if we see them, like, dig deep, dig hard, run for cover, don't never look back, kind of stuff. Like they're Quinn is very adamant about just outlasting the dragons. And then he's also really adamant, like, to Van Zam, like, no, we're not doing this. Like, I've seen what you're going after. And then all it takes was Creedy dying, and then he just does a complete 180.
Yeah.
To
When
be
I think,
fair, though,
I mean, yes, to be fair, it kind of makes sense, revenge, stuff like that, but it was so sudden.
Yeah.
he doesn't wrestle with it.
He
Yeah.
does show signs of wrestling with it earlier, but it's not enough. I tried to fix that too. I
Yeah.
did try to fix that.
Yeah, like, I think the movie would have benefited from being 2 hours long.
Yes.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
That's Ruthie and I
Have
were
those-
talking. We were
yeah.
like, it's missing something. And
The pacing's really weird.
do you think that's what was missing? Because I thought it was just another 30 minutes or 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's because you watch it and you're like, you kind of lose yourself in the movie in a good way, and then you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, because I remember I had to stop to go to the bathroom, and then it's like, and then I paused. I'm like, it's 50. We're already halfway through.
Yeah.
It felt like there was barely a middle.
Yeah, it's
The
for
second
context,
act
the movie is an hour and 40 minutes or 101 minutes, and it's like pacing makes it seem longer, which for a short movie is good, but it needed that like extra 20 minutes for more character building and having
No, I'm in
Yeah.
the same boat.
not pull a Daenerys Targaryen kind of character shift. And it could have benefited from the 20 minutes of more character building and actually Quinn deciding, like, instead of hiding or like somebody other, or like having a talk with Van Zam and deciding, let's take the fight to them, kind of thing. It could have been like literally just 10 more minutes of just like a 3-minute talk with Van Zam, some deliberation with himself and Creedy, or if Creedy already died there, depends where you want to put this. Oh, Creedy would have already died. Like some deliberation, internal deliberation with him thinking about Creedy, talking to other people, and then another 3-minute talk with Van Zam where he's like, "You're right. Let's kill it," kind of thing. Yeah, that would have been really nice, in my opinion. Gives Quinn more character development. Other than that, pretty enjoyable movie. It's pretty cool. Keeps your attention. Dragons are always cool, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I actually really dug this movie. I didn't know much about it. I went in almost completely blind. You just told me dragons, and I'm like, okay. Oh no. But like,
Son
as
of a
soon as I
bitch,
saw, like,
I'm in.
no. Like as soon as the fire, like the oil, like he dribbled bits of fire down onto the floor. I'm like, oh.
I know. I loved the like the mixing of the gases theory of the dragons. I digged that.
No, but like, yeah, but like
well,
from the first scene when you,
yeah,
with
when
young
it-
Quinn, yeah, the drooling, like,
Yeah,
almost like drooling
their,
fire.
Their drool is like, extremely flammable. It doesn't explain where the like, or like the dragons, they like spit like this liquid and this gas or something that causes a reaction that causes the fire to come out.
I thought it was like two different
really cool.
chambers.
Yeah, it was.
It's
was
like an actual flamethrower because that they had that. I think it's an explanation for the fact that they want to keep the fire practical effects, so they just use flamethrowers. And I'm like, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like for a flamethrower, you have a flame up front. These guys, they didn't create a spark or anything. It was just two different chambers that created a chemical reaction. And then with the spitting or shooting the liquid, that's how they got the projectile. Fire.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was just
instead
really cool.
of just exploding in their mouth.
It was just so cool.
Yeah.
I actually really dug that.
And it's really cool how they get that or how they kill the last dragon. Like, that scene is so cool. Just Christian Bale with the crossbow, just so patient, waiting for the dragon to open its mouth. Gets the C4 inside the dragon's chest where all those flammable chemicals are. Delicious. It is a really cool scene, in my opinion. Extremely cool scene. Pretty badass.
Van Zandt with the axe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, when he jumps?
Yeah.
That was the coolest.
That was cool. I wish he would have actually done something with the axe.
I changed. I had an idea to change.
Yeah, like
I think
what Van Zandt should have done. I mean, it's like hurt the dragon with the axe or something, get it in its eye or something, and that's what causes it to land. Because it makes no sense why the dragon landed. I mean, he did hit him with one of the C4 arrows in the face, but like still. Or like damage its wing in some way with the axe. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's better actually than my idea.
To cause it to come to the ground. And that way Van Zandt actually contributed something to killing the gigantic dragon at the end, the male dragon. Quick segue. They're not dragons. They're wyverns also.
Yep.
Yes.
Ruthie mentioned that to me.
For those who don't know, a dragon has 4 legs and wings. A wyvern has 2 legs and wings. Yes.
Yeah, these dragons, they aren't kings because they don't have armies.
Because they don't have.
God. Ed, where does a king keep his armies?
In his sleeves. Yeah. Honestly, that's all I have to say about the movie. Overall, if something else comes up in just like normal discussion, I will bring it up. But yeah, very cool shots. I love the cinematography of it, even though it was pretty standard. Just the way they show the dragons was very smart. If they intended it, or if they did not, it still came off really good.
I noticed something really weird in one scene, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. What was cinematography? When Van Zandt, at one point, when that one guy like crashes on the ground from the dive.
Oh, yeah, he splats.
No. They cuts to Van Zandt, but the camera's shaking. The camera just shakes, and I'm like, why is it shaking? It was like one instance of it, but it was really weird. I'm wondering if they're gonna use it for another scene.
So you're talking about the skydiver when he hits the ground and dies.
It cuts to Van Zandt. Starting to get a little worried. And it's shaky cam. Like just for a brief second, the camera shakes. Like a lot. And it was really weird. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just something I noticed.
Pull that up, actually.
Not trying to step on your zone here of being the
No. It's good that you noticed that because I did not. I did not notice that at all.
Can I go next?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Honestly, I did like the movie. I do love a good dragon flick.
Me too.
Yeah. See, I liked the sensible mom character. She was like a good mom for once, because in movies you don't often see that. Meg.
Ow.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Alex, the sensible mom character?
No, Quinn's mom in this movie is sensible.
She's a lot more sensible than the mom in the Meg. She's
yeah.
oh, my kid's in danger. I got to take him to the chemical station. Then we got to get the fuck out of here. Also, like, I'm gonna like yell at or beat the ass of the guy who put my kid in this situation.
Yeah.
Anyways, I also loved the medieval, I wrote ancient, but medieval architecture that they had the community in. England is rife with that kind of stuff, and it has such a rich history and rich underground too, especially in London. But that kind of leads into a thing that plot hole for later. But also, I just love how everyone just leans into this medieval aesthetic, which again leads me into my dislikes. Why did it just have to be like the medieval aesthetic? Like the thing that keeps popping into my head is like, why don't they lean a little bit more into the Blitz, the London Blitz?
What do you mean?
Well, like, you don't want the dragons to know where you are. What's up with all the lights, all the torches everywhere? What's up with all the fire? What's up? You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that Blitz. Yeah, I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
because the dragons see well in light.
At
night too.
But also, if this is to have taken place in same history, like 1-to-1 history, it's just in 2002, 2008, it divots with the summoning of the dragons. What about the Blitz? No, seriously, like, what about the London Blitz? When bombs came in, destroyed like a good portion of London, exposing a lot of the underground.
Use that?
No, I'm saying there's a dragon under there. How did he not wake up from his little cat nap?
Oh, shit.
I'm just saying, like, there could be a World War II spinoff where they use a dragon to fight Nazis, and I want that. I want that.
So
this movie's a bit too grounded for that kind of stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but it's still that is a plot hole. Like, why did the dragon not wake up then?
I think maybe it's just, they didn't blow a hole in the hole the dragon was in.
Yeah.
Also, like,
it also seems like dragons are underground everywhere because they just came out from everywhere.
Yeah.
It just needed the male dragon to wake up first or something like that.
Statistically, there should be more than one male. If that's the case, if they came from all over the world. I thought they came out from England and migrated all over. But then I remember
maybe they did. I don't know.
Because there's also hinting that there might be more dragons to fight. But if they're just not going to die, that means there's more males.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought they just killed one.
For my reshoot purposes, I'm just going to assume there was like a single pair in London, or maybe not a single pair, but like the only dragons came from the England region.
Mm.
Oh, that would make a lot. And they just spread out.
Yes.
And because they have more food on their way there around the world.
Yes.
That makes sense.
I'll get into why I chose this because I'll get into that later. Okay. The buzzing. This is a nitpick. This is a nitpick. I know I'm the nitpicker, but like the buzzing, like telephone, telegraph thing.
Yeah.
Or the Morse code thing. It's only got one beepy. It's only got one little buzzer. And they react to both times it buzzes very different ways. So how the fuck do they know what kind of buzz it is?
Yeah, no, I did realize that.
I guess they should have done the Morse code thing should have actually said something like
yeah.
Instead of just
yeah, because it's like, is this a little Timmy fell in the well, or is this, oh god, everything's on fire? Because those are bad. Both of them are bad, but like very different levels of bad.
Yeah, I wasn't even being critical during that part of the movie, and I noticed that too. I forgot to write it down. Thank you. But yeah, I was just like, that? Does he just wait? Didn't he? I mean, he answered the call first, then he went.
Well, the first time he answers the call, then he freaks out. Second time, he sees that it's ringing and he flips the fuck out.
Yeah, fair.
Because he knows it's a dragon attack. But how did he know it was a dragon? Whatever.
Well, wasn't the dragon attack the first time? Uh-huh. Oh no, the first time was the friend running away.
Yeah. Then it was the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, a lot of my nitpicks had to do with the dragon stuff because a lot of people say a lot of things about the dragons, but we don't get that confirmed. Throughout a lot of the movie, Quinn and several other characters are discussing how these dragons are hungry, they're starving, they don't have anything to eat. But we don't see them through 3/4 of the movie actually eating anything. We don't know anything about their behavior other than they're just kind of like assholes. They seem more like my former neighbor's 4th of July festivities than anything else. Just setting everything on fire. Van Zandt sounds like he lost it and he's a part of a dragon killing cult. Here's my biggest thing about the dragons. If they work like fish, that is kind of a plot hole for the there's only one male, we have to kill it thing, because fun fact, clownfish can actually change their biological sex at will depending on the ratios of their population. So if there's only one male, females will actually change so that they become males to ensure the betterment of the community.
But not all fish do that, though.
But frogs did it, and that's how it worked in Jurassic Park.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah.
The raptors.
So when you say fish, don't just say fish. You need to specify what fish. And I will specify what fish I think they should be compared to momentarily.
Tuna?
Not tuna.
Damn it.
Anyways.
Ew.
Van Zandt, he either doesn't feel things or he's like almost constantly on the verge of crying. And throughout the movie, he's like always on the verge of crying. But apparently he doesn't feel things.
His eyes are always very, very watery.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, he's like about to shed a tear, but the tear never drops.
Yes. Exactly. Then there's that bit where Quid's talking about how like dragons don't like the smell of their dead. Again, how does he know that?
Yeah,
because if he's never seen anyone kill a dragon and they have no like lifespan, how does he know what a dead dragon smells like, and how does he know how that affects other dragons' behavior?
See, if he just said like, oh, some dragons have died near us before, or hey, I read this on the news back in the past, or Van Zandt told me earlier.
It seems like he lived through that whole thing of like, you know, the dragons starting off at 12 years old. And I didn't question it because first of all, he's really smart. They mentioned the school in the beginning that he's gonna get into that is very expensive. Anyways, also there's the like monologue or whatever, the voiceover of like him talking about how the dragons like spread all over the world, and he shows little snippets of all this like paper and him writing and all of that. It seems that he kept up with the news, and they were able to kill dragons with like nukes and shit. And maybe somewhere out there is like, wait, we killed this dragon's dead here, and there's no dragons like coming for like days when we would get like 2 or 3 daily kind of thing. Like that's the thing I was thinking of. And
that's what I was thinking of too. I just wish they maybe had shown a little thing of like a dead dragon and the other dragons flying away. Just like you can do in like a small newspaper or something, because they showed a few newspapers. That's what I thought would be a better fix for that.
Yeah, and also what was it? He mentioned that they had a chemical engineer or something with them at some point. And he like the chemical engineer had this theory of how the dragons breathe fire, and maybe he also figured out that dragons don't like the smell of their own dead.
Okay, gotcha.
And it could also be, you know, the female seemed pretty afraid of the male. So like it makes sense that dragons are afraid of that. They're like, oh, there's a dead dragon here. I think daddy's around here, and they just run away.
Oh, speaking of the male dragon, that is my last like complaint. It always seems like it just knows what the script needs it to do. Like beyond just like fucking shit up. Like, I don't know, it felt like it was way too smart, especially in the first bit. In the final scene, it was like a normal dragon, but like it immediately knew when Van Zandt and his crew were coming up to kill him. Like, okay, fine, they're making a big ruckus. But then he immediately flies back to Quinn's castle. Like, how did he get that?
Yeah.
There is a mention, Quinn mentions that. In like, I forget what town he says, but Purdue or something. He said that people from a different settlement went over to kill the dragon. They did not and he said that it backtracked them and destroyed the entire colony. So there is already a mention of it beforehand that the male dragon knows what's going on. He knows what's up.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
So it is not.
Yeah, I do remember him mentioning the name Purdue. Okay. It just seemed like the dragon. It was like the bit in Robin Hood Men in Tights where like Robin Hood pulls the script out and he's like, "Wait a second, I'm not supposed to lose." You know?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, it should have shown that the other dragons are also kind of smart. I mean, it kind of did because the first dragon, the dragon they kill when it's attacking, like, the crops, it actually targets the car that they came in. It purposely burns the car.
Yeah, I just wish it had kind of stuck with either they're mindless, hungry beasts or they're intelligent, because it felt like it kind of flip-flopped just a little bit too much.
And the voiceover in the beginning, Quinn does say, driven by one thing, to feed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that can be a hungry boy, but still know how to get the food the best way. I mean, I don't know.
So, here's how my version would look. Let's see. I think I'd keep everything up in the beginning pretty much the same up until when the Americans show up, and I might even move when the Americans show up, just because I feel like that the initial introduction of Quinn, or is it Van Zandt to Quinn, was really weird. Because at first it was like, oh, hey, can we like chill here for a few days? And Quinn's like, no, you're gonna maraud. You're gonna kill us, and then you're gonna take all our stuff, and then you're gonna leave. And he's like, haha, no, we won't. Also, I'm crazy and I kill dragons. Haha, welcome aboard. So it either needs to be, hey, we have food, you have beds, we make trade, or hey, you have a dragon problem, I have a dragon killing problem. Please. I got the shakes. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of my revisions have to do with Quinn's relationships to other people.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Van Zandt is just a little bit too wild-eyed for Quinn to give him any quarter. And Jared, the little boy that Quinn adopts, he's not in it enough for you to feel, or at least for me to feel really emotionally invested, especially when he's like, when he plays the "you're not my dad" card and wins. It just immediately succeeds. That drove me bonkers. Hector can attest. I was complaining about that for a good 5 minutes. Because it actually worked.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Anyways.
You're right. I'm not your father. I can't do a British accent.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not your father.
I'm not your father.
Anyways. So pretty much, yeah, it either needs to go where Van Zandt's like, hey, I know we have a lot of weapons. I know we look scary. We have food. We just need a place to like rest for a little bit. And Quinn's like, okay, you have food. All of my crops are burned. Or alternatively, what could happen is when the dragon is attacking Eddie and his crew at the crops, the Americans pull up. And either they just immediately start going ham on the dragon, or Van Zandt's just like, hey, I'll kill this dragon for you if you let us have a sleepover. Please, we'll braid each other's hair.
When you mentioned him coming in to rescue them from the garden and stuff,
yeah,
I picture that, like, that song that plays in like a lot of movies, like when they go to Vietnam and they're in Vietnam, more like
oh yeah.
Yeah, I picture that whenever.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just kind of rolling in a little like Roman firefighter style, where they'd run in and be like, yeah, we'll put out your house, but you're gonna pay us like a lot of money, right? Yeah, you're gonna count every penny first, right?
That actually used to be a thing in like the early 17 or 1800s too.
Yeah. Yeah, not great, but like, I mean, the guy was super rich after, so results. I also would have liked it if they'd include a little bit more like references beyond just medieval times, because that's just kind of a gimme. It's really easy. Like, yes, dragons, automatically, we're gonna do that. I feel like they could have included a little bit more like references to the Blitz, but more importantly, we need to find a new MacGuffin for these dragons because the only one dragon being a male is really bad.
What do you mean MacGuffin?
The male dragon's the MacGuffin. It's the
that's
thing,
the thing they're looking for.
That's the thing that they're
I
looking
thought
for.
the dragons need a new MacGuffin, and I'm like,
well, the dragons need a new MacGuffin. There needs to be more than one male.
yeah, no, I agree with you on that one.
So instead of having it being a harem anime of dragons, pause for effect while Hector loses it. What if
my scaly girlfriend should be this cute or some shit like that? I don't know. Anyway.
Scaly Chan. Anyways, I think that if you're going to reference a fish for these dragon species, you should reference salmon, because salmon, they go to the ocean, they live out there for like a year or two or however long they live. I didn't do the research. I'm not Hector. When it is time for them to reproduce, they will swim back exactly to the river that they were born in to lay their eggs.
Mm-hmm.
They won't deviate from the path.
Isn't it 7 month time?
What?
I think 7 months.
I have no idea.
Sorry, tangent.
But anyways, they won't go to different places. So if we assume that all dragons came from London and all dragons lay their eggs in London, all they have to do is shoot the hell out of every egg in London.
Did you see how many females there were though?
Well, that's the thing. Don't make it a more even ratio. The gender doesn't matter now. It's just like killing. It's like Star Wars Episode 3 up in here. It's a youngling killing spree.
This is where the fun begins. It's working.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Are you researching salmon for me?
Yeah. Around 2 to 6 years, make sure salmon will return to the water so they were hatched to reproduce.
Exactly.
Also, fun fact, to prepare for the long-distance journey, salmon spend time at the mouths of the rivers where they smolted to feed and readjust to fresh water. Then they begin the upstream trip. So that's kind of cool, actually. I did not know that they had to re-migrate to the water because they live in the sea sometimes for a bit.
Yeah.
So that's actually really cool.
That's why I think the dragons should be, like I said, the dragons only came from London, so they could only return to London.
No, that actually would fit in a lot more. Yeah, that would explain the hundreds of dragons coming from London, but I think...
Then you can have the one big dragon instead of the big male dragon. It could be like the den mother dragon. Like, it's the one that's in charge of protecting the eggs.
Yeah, but
that would make a lot more sense.
I mean, that would make more sense, but it... Like, what does killing the den mother do?
Killing the den mother means that the den mother won't kill you while you start making dragons egg scramble.
Can you eat the dragons? That was
I
something
was
else.
kind of wondering that too.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
they had a fucking dead dragon. I'm like, that's a lot.
I'm
of
like,
Yeah,
food.
like they're starving.
I get they kept some. They could have just kept half of it. They could have just kept half of it and kept the other half to be like anti-dragon deterrent.
Yeah, like just
like,
the head,
Yeah.
the wings, and the tail.
Yeah.
They could just leave out because there's not a lot of meat there. But just
now I
eat the
wonder what
rest of
dragon
it.
tastes like.
That giant liver,
Well,
dude.
But also, like, would it be safe to eat with those gases that it uses to make the fire? I think.
I
That
mean,
might
if you
poison
remove the
meat.
sack.
Well, if you remove the sack, but if the sack is punctured during the killing.
I mean, I guess it depends on how you kill it.
Yeah.
But like, I could see it. I'm kind of curious how dragon tastes like.
Smoky.
Mm-hmm.
God, you're on a roll tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Anything else?
that's such
no,
a
that
good
was pretty
point
much it for me.
because it's not the gases but the liquid that I would be more worried about.
Yeah.
Because the liquid gets in Kid Quinn's eyes, and it like obviously like not good for the
Part of me-
eyes. It's like
Part of me was
kerosene.
also
I'm
wondering,
assuming.
like, what if Quinn had like permanent eye damage? But a lot of this movie hinges on Quinn's sight, so I guess you couldn't do that, which kind of sucks.
He's a good
Yeah.
shot.
He is a good shot, but like at the beginning of the movie, he had the goo in his eyes for a long time. You really don't want goo in your eyes, except for eye goo. For any
Yeah.
period of time.
What happens if you get kerosene in your eyes? It's probably bad, right?
I think you go blind.
Yeah, pretty sure you go blind.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a blind.
You looking up?
Yep.
Why?
You need to rinse your eyes with saline.
Because
Avoid eye infection, anti-inflammatory eye drops. So you can get an infection and your eyes go big. That's the science answer. That's what Google says.
you did join me in research.
Yes.
So, what I liked about the movie, I actually thought the CGI was really good for its time. A lot of the scenes actually hold up pretty well because they did like the dark trick with the CGI.
I will say, this movie is a year after Jurassic Park 3, and Jurassic Park 3 looked a lot better than this. The dinosaurs, not dragons. Just saying.
Didn't they do puppets?
They used puppets.
They used puppets for some things, but Jurassic Park 3 also had the T-Rex and the Spinosaurus and the Raptors, I guess. Yeah. They did use a lot of puppets, though.
Yeah.
Still, however, the CG Spinosaurus better than this, but I guess they only did do CG for the Spinosaurus on some parts. I don't know. So they had less time to use.
I mean, for it looks really good. I still think it looks really good.
Yeah.
This movie was super unique. When I expected that after the 2 minutes with Quinn and the dragon before the intro sequence thing, where the exposition sequence was like, oh, we're gonna catch you up to how the world's going now. I was thinking like, so this is gonna be like a modern day movie where it's gonna be like them trying to all fight a dragon, like kind of like a War of the Worlds, but with dragons. Okay, I'll dig it. But then it got further and further, and then I saw the castle, and I'm like, oh, this is such a unique premise. I really dug the idea, like a post-apocalypse with dragons in a modern setting that's not fantasy was really fun. Ed, you picked a really fun movie. I was really worried with this one, but it was really fucking fun.
I went in as blind as possible, but I still read like the Amazon rental like little blurb on it. I wanted to watch the trailer, but I was like, no, I'm just gonna go into it as blind as I can. Read this. Oh, this is interesting. Hector, come look at this.
Well, I didn't even read the thing.
Oh, you didn't read the blurb?
I didn't have my glasses on at the time.
Oh, right.
So so we start the movie, and I'm like, okay, oh, damn, this is interesting. I thought the acting was pretty good for the most part with the two leads. We already mentioned Matthew McConaughey, but I thought Christian Bale did a really good job. He was really selling like the desperate leader trying to just do whatever he can to get his people to survive. I bought it hook, line, sinker.
Yeah, Christian Bale did pretty good. I just felt like, for me, it seemed like every other relationship that connected to Quinn was a little funky.
No, I do talk about some of the relationships.
Okay, gotcha.
I do think I lost my thought, but the world building was actually kind of fun at times, like the culture of the settlement was like they do their prayers. And I'm like, was it like Jesus? It's like we pray, and the prayer was more like a reminder of what to do. I thought that was a really clever thing, and I thought it kind of set up how everyone's feeling. And it didn't feel exposition-y at all. It just felt like, this is what they do. Also, like the movie scene, the Star Wars where they're reenacting Star Wars was really cute. I'm like, that would be a good way to pass the time. And just other stuff, like they explain stuff. I was like, why don't they ever try to nuke them? And they're like, we tried to nuke them, it didn't work. I'm like,
the Americans tried to nuke them, and now America is irradiated to all hell.
Yeah, but again, like I thought it was a cool, like I was like, why don't they ever try this or this? So I'm like, what about guns? And they show guns don't work. Like every time I had a thought of why don't they try this, they actually do, and it worked.
It didn't work.
And it didn't work, but the fact that it worked, the fact that they
did think about that when writing the script.
Yeah, like I know we are complaining about some of the stuff they didn't get right and some of the stuff they skipped over, but like the fact that they were thinking of like what are the most obvious holes we have if we're doing some modern setting? Guns doesn't work. Like nukes.
Scales.
Although they could fly, the helicopter could fly faster than the dragons. So that kind of brings up a point of like, can't it just fly really fast?
Fly faster than the dragon.
It could outmaneuver them a little bit.
Also, like the fuel for the helicopter.
Fair. It was 2002. We're gone a lot farther now than we did back then.
He said that Van Zam did they were running low on fuel and other supplies.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that's true though, and I'm gonna get into that in a sec. But I don't think that's true that he said it would run out of fuel. Also, the angel sequence, and they're like, skydiving, they bring the net down and all of that. It was so fucking stupid. I loved every second of it.
It was rad as hell.
It was rad as hell. I honestly enjoyed it so much. Dislikes and how I fix them. Van Zandt wastes so many resources and keeps calling attention to him, and I'm thinking he might be doing it to attract the dragons. But I'm like, dude, you're clearly not ready with that. And there's a lot more people not being like, at night when he's showing he's making the helicopter fly around. I'm like, what is it for inspection? Just triangulate. Use your triangulator thing to like keep a little like.
And then he complains when other people are like, "Hey, I wasted resources. People died." Like,
dude, you're flying a helicopter with little fuel.
You told these people, launch yourselves out of a helicopter, throw a fucking net.
What's his name? Jared?
Yeah.
Jared's like, oh, they're gonna train me, and I'm like, to jump out of a helicopter. I'm like, with what fuel? There's no fuel left.
Yeah.
Are you just gonna jump him off like a mountain?
They're just gonna. It's like a really bad dad with a kid in pool. You just throw the kid in the pool, and by that I mean you just find the biggest mountain, you find the castle, you throw the kid off.
Throw the kid off the cliffs of Dover.
Yep.
Yeah. Love that song.
And then you shout, "Walk it off, kid." It's all good.
Papa. Oh, I don't know. So here's what I was thinking. Show them with a smaller crew and just clearly exhausted. Maybe all they have is the helicopters, as the tanks didn't do shit. So you have the one helicopter, maybe a caravan or two, but it's a very small crew. The rest of them were kind of useless.
How did they bring the tank over if they've lost every plane?
Yeah, I know. I wondered that too. Maybe the plane brought them in and then crashed.
Or maybe it's a British tank?
That too. I did think about that.
Very easy solution right there. It's a British tank. Or they took a boat.
No, he said, took a boat also, I was going to say.
Yeah, but he did say they take a plane and they crashed.
Also, if you want to show that he's like insane, another fun way of doing it is what if he did the jump himself? The angel jump?
Yeah.
And then just
he's a leader. He can't risk it.
I know. I that was smart, but like if you want to show the man it's really insane, don't just make other people do it for him. Although I guess who's a bigger fool, the fool or the one who follows the fool? But I don't know. Also, when he was fighting with Quinn for control, it felt like a bit of an abridged version. And I guess that's my problem is the movie could have been a little bit longer. So maybe have like Jared think of leaving earlier, like maybe during the party.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of him shitting on everyone, Van Zam just tries to recruit people. Then there's like, come on, this is like, look at me. Like, let me do it. Was like Matthew McConaughey. Like, just look at me. Look at all I've done. Look at all this. Let's just get going. Let's go and kill more dragons. Come join me. You get to jump out of a helicopter.
Way less than 3 people next time. It'll be fine.
And if I do, it doesn't matter. And if I do, it doesn't matter. We got more people anyway. Let's do this. And
Don't mind me jumping.
No, that's fine. But yeah, just stuff like that would be so much fun. Like, just like, yeah, I'm gonna get more people. And then, he's like, oh, maybe I should go. Jared's like, Papa, not my papa. Should I go? And, Quinn's like, no, I need you here. And he's like, but I want to do something, I don't want to be here all my life. Kind of the same argument they had earlier. And also, you're not my dad. Maybe, and then he starts to leave. And you know how I noticed Quinn in the beginning was like worried, like when that one dude went to go get the garden, even afterwards he was like, maybe it was the right thing to do, like maybe it was like, are we gonna have any hope? He's considering after the fact, right? So like the party happens, Quinn puts a stop, but he's not letting anyone have a say. So, and that emphasizes again that flaw in Quinn's leadership, that he doesn't consider others until it's too late in their opinions. So, and again with the family, maybe Jared's like, but you said the family could have been correct about leaving to get the fruit and vegetables.
The food,
yeah. There was fireproof armor in the beginning of the film.
Right, they had the Iron Man suits.
It was meant to look like a night suit.
Yeah,
a night armor.
It was like half firefighter, half Iron
Man.
And
it wasn't really used as well. It wasn't really used after that. It was used. It might be heavy, but it didn't look as heavy, if I remember correctly. So here's an idea. I don't like the final fight. I don't like that it's 3 humans versus a dragon without a plane. Like, yeah, they had some high ground. They had some, like, they knew the area. They had the advantage there.
They had a crazy man with a halberd.
What
could go wrong?
Let the crazy man with the halberd use the armor.
It was a battle axe.
It was a battle axe? Whatever. Look, he had a sharp pointy thing, sharp stabby thing.
You expect me to recognize weapons?
I mean,
Yeah, look, like the halberd would
your
have
DM?
been much longer with a much smaller blade.
yeah,
enough.
no, you're right. But anyway, with the battle axe, right? What about let Van Zandt have the armor? And it's like, but he can't jump as far. No, but he can still get the high ground. You make it a cool thing where he's jumping down with the full armor, taking a bunch of fire, knowing he's not going to land it, not going to be able to survive the landing, and he just slices a good chunk of, like a good thing onto the chest.
Like the Meg, but better.
I still haven't seen the Meg, but just like a good gash on it, and then he doesn't land it and dies. Also, another thing I thought about was, do you remember that part where Kate, what's her name, gives Quinn the iodine? He's like,
oh, isn't it Alex?
Alex, right?
Yeah.
Alex.
She does look like a Kate.
She looks like a Kate. Alex has she gives him the iodine. She's like, it hurts like hell, but it'll kill anything. That's the exact quote. And I'm like, oh, Chekhov's gun, right? Like, are they going to kill the dragon by having it ingest it? Ends up, you can't really, I did some research on this. It's not combustible.
Yeah, no, actually, iodine is. I thought it was a really interesting world building detail when they were. Wait, let me think. Back during like Cold War days when nuclear reactors weren't as safe, American folks. I don't know if this happened in other countries. They would get mailed iodine pills because iodine will flush out radiation, which I thought was really interesting. That she specifically had iodine with her when she was an American because the Americans were the ones who nuked the dragons.
Oh, that's a good detail, actually. That's actually really cool. But yeah, also, iodine's only poisonous in large amounts, so that wouldn't work with the dragon. Unless you're carrying like a big old, like...
You just dress it up as a sheep. It's Looney Tunes logic up in here.
I was thinking more like a big, those like 3-gallon jars, just like, that wouldn't work. That's stupid. But so yeah, I thought that was Chekhov's. I just thought it was worth mentioning that I thought there was a Chekhov's gun. There wasn't.
Yeah.
Also, why the male dragon scaring away all the female dragons was really stupid. There's one.
That does make some sense. If we're gonna again continue with the fish stuff, beta fish, the males really bully the females, and you can't keep more than one male together because they will fight each other to the death.
I figured that, but like, why are they so scared of the men? I get it, they want to survive the species, but it just felt weird that there was hundreds.
Did you see how big the male was compared to the females?
Yeah.
Yes, but here's what I was thinking. It just seems a bit weird that it's like, oh, here's all this big danger. Oh, he scared them all at a convenient time, So now it's going to be easier for us. I know they lampshade it, but I didn't sit well with that. So, and they keep saying this movie, oh, everyone's dying. We're dying. The dragons are dying. Like, why not only have like a bunch of maybe a bunch of dragons dying right in front of them, but they can't do anything because they're so weak and hungry. And it drives to desperation on both sides of just needing to kill the other. So there's only the one male dragon who's still fine. And the rest of the dragons are like dying or dead on their way there. You pass a few dead dragons to show, and not hundreds, maybe just 10 at most. Like, just really drive some of that desperation. What else? Show the dragon's point of view early, because they do that in that one scene, and it's confusing because throughout the movie it's a bit confusing what they can and can't see, because they're just like, oh, they see better at night, but at the same time they didn't see the helicopter. They had the helicopter lights on like at night with the noise, so it's like, I don't know. If you show it early, it's cool. The effect's cool. You can use it to hint at the magic hour before Van Zandt reveals that there's a magic hour or magic time, whatever we called it.
I think it was magic hour. You got it.
Yeah. There was a bit of inconsistency with Quinn that bothered me. I'm not sure how to fully fix it, but he tells the kids to stay and hide. But then when when Van Zandt's crew's trying to kill the dragon, he's out the entire time just so he can be there to just kind of help save the day. But it's weird that the man who's so desperate is like, we shouldn't go outside. None of us should be going outside, is outside watching him kill dragons.
The first time?
The first time. He wasn't underground or anything. He was waiting out there.
Well, that's because he was listening in, right?
Yeah, but he was still out and about.
He might have been curious.
Yeah, and I get that. If he was curious, yes, but like, he doesn't keep And I guess it does make sense with the curiosity later of like, oh, I inspected the dead dragon to see that there's an egg. But like,
Oh, you're not talking about before they fought the dragon. You're talking about after.
no, I'm talking about during the dragon fight.
Oh, during the dragon
He's
fight.
still out. He's still
I
out.
think a bit of that is also he still doesn't fully trust Van Zandt yet, because Van Zandt, he has no idea what the guy is doing. He just sees that they're all mobilized and that they're all aflutter doing something. So
No,
he's kind of just poking around.
I get that, but he was like super out in the open. If he'd been like near the door, you
Mhm.
know, or just like kind of having a gun, like keeping an eye out for him, that would have been a bit more
Yeah,
believable.
no,
Because he was like
I
way
get
out
you
in the
now.
open. I'm like, the dragon could just fly up and burn you right now. Like, that's about it, really. I didn't have a big writing like other times where it's like, oh, I'm going to rewrite some stuff. We didn't have many themes, I guess, other than maybe perseverance, maybe
Survival.
hope, survival.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a very deep movie.
No, it's
just
not.
fun.
And I'm not trying to add deep. I know that I'm not trying to
would-
add deepness where there isn't. I'm just trying to.
I wouldn't call it like a generic action movie. 'cause
No.
It is very original concept and it's super refreshing because it seems like every movie now is like trying either like a reboot or a sequel. Like there's no or like an adaptation.
That's yeah. Or they're just trying to make a cinematic universe like Marvel.
Yes.
That's why
Good Lord.
we need more indie films to be more popular.
Yeah.
Antlers, Green Knight.
I'm not gonna. I don't know if I can see Antlers. That trailer scared the shit out of me.
I kind of want to see Antlers.
You and Ed can go see it. I don't know if I'm gonna go
Looks
see it.
creepy as fuck.
Exactly. If
By the
it's creepy, it's
way.
creepy. But I don't want to watch a
I don't
jump
know if
scare.
I don't want to watch it like in theaters. I wanted to watch it in the comfort of my own home with the mute button readily underneath my finger.
No, the trailer. I remember we watched the trailer when we were watching The Lighthouse, and that jump scare, like the first
That's
jump scare,
why-
just made me leave. I left. I'm like, I'm not watching this.
This is how I'm gonna watch it.
She's holding
Yeah.
and squeezing the mute button and shaking her hand like she's terrified. So I guess Ruthie had this fun idea. Well, I've noticed she did this with like the Meg movie,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe she did other ones, but it's been so long I can't remember. But where it's like, hey, what's something you'd either change, like something related to the movie, like
I
with
did think of one.
you did for this one?
Yes.
Cool. What?
Sorry, think of wait, do
okay.
what?
Just like a flash round, bonus points.
Like, remember how with Meg she asked us if you could do your own kind of shark movie, what would you do?
Oh,
what genre film would you do if you could just add dragons at any point in time, but still keep it that genre, not including fantasy? If you need an example, I want a Fast and the Furious dragon movie. Would it end up like our D&D campaign where you guys heisted a dragon from the mafia? Yes. Do I still want to see that shit? Absolutely.
That was fun.
I love
I
horror
feel like
movies.
Ruthie's mentioning D&D more and more. I think she's trying to get us to do a D&D podcast to get interest in it.
I'm just saying, hey, Wizards of the Coast, if you want to like share your Twitch stuff with us, I'd be happy to like host, or like Chris Perkins. Sorry.
Well, your thing about what to add dragons. Well, I love horror movies in general, so maybe something like It Comes at Night, but dragons, but keep the It Comes at Night theme of like not showing what's out there, but actually show a dragon at some point.
See, I don't know. It Comes at Night, and they just keep mixing it up with It Follows.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking like a shape-shifting dragon that follows you.
No, It Comes at Night is a very different kind of horror than It Follows, and I did kind of spoil a little bit, like.
It's fine. I don't think I caught it.
Yeah, but I would have
I
some kind of horror of like, but I really liked how they didn't like. I wouldn't show the dragon a lot, or if I did dragons, I would only show one and show it only once. Maybe like a 13 Cloverfield Lane kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Did you guys ever watch that one?
Nope.
Not yet.
Oh damn!
Not yet. I know it's
Oof,
good.
duh.
It's not yet.
Dang, all these movies that are like, this is kind of what I want, and you're like, I haven't seen it. But yeah, what's another one that could be
I think
similar?
Hector had a.
I had two and I lost one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Let me think of it. I'll say the first one, Kung Fu film.
Ooh.
I got the other one. I got the other one. First one was Kung Fu film.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I just like some like monk kind of dude just like kicking ass at a dragon, or the dragon itself kicking ass. It's just kind of a fun idea. The other one, which I'm sure I haven't seen Bright, but Buddy, I mean, maybe they do deal with it, but Buddy Cop.
Wait, is it a buddy cop where the dragon is the buddy cop, or is
I
it
was
like,
thinking that, yeah.
or is it like the dragon is like the cop car and the buddy cop takes place like in like on the dragon's back or in the mouth?
I was thinking the dragon is a buddy.
Okay.
Because I've never seen a buddy cop film with such a big height disparity.
That would be funny.
I mean, I heard about the buddy cop movie with, I don't know if it was Whoopi Goldberg or probably Whoopi Goldberg with a dinosaur. It's a real thing that exists. I haven't seen it. I kind of want to.
Huh.
We can. Yeah, that'd be a fun one to reshoot if we ever just get bored. Like we really want to think of something weird and out of the box.
The movie's perfect. Next.
But the other one I was thinking of now is maybe one of those indie films.
What do you mean indie?
Like what's that one about the dude who's like, what's his face? It was like Oceans or something, or Waves or something. It came out like a year or two ago.
Yeah, it was the weird one where like the son was probably gay and the girl's like riding her bike like that,
and she's screaming. Yeah.
Did not like that trailer.
Waves. Yeah.
Waves. Yeah. What if you just do like
sure it's called Waves. I actually never saw that movie.
I heard it was okay. I heard it was decent.
The trailer did not sell me.
The trailer sold me, but like it did not get like the best reviews.
It was an A24 film, so I was a bit more interested in it.
Watch it.
They want to take more risks, but I do think that how to say it. I do think that just that with dragons would be interesting. I'm not sure how. Ed's looking at me
it's
like
like
what
a family drama, and then there's a dragon in the background just hey ho neighbor.
I was thinking the dragon's the focus. Like I was thinking Ed's looking at me like what the fuck. The more I talk about this,
the big red dog.
I was thinking that, but I like it when dragons talk. So like maybe it's just like a dragon.
I think that's the big difference here. Is I like dragons as just monsters or animals, creatures, and you're all more into the mystical D&D kind of dragons.
You also
I love that fantasy bullshit.
I also DM for you, Ed. You know that I'm a lot more I'm interested in really exploring certain different angles.
Yeah, but my idea is just like people hold up in a house or a castle, and they know that there's dragons out there, but I wouldn't show it until the end or just once, ever.
Okay.
No, just have more interpersonal stuff.
Would you rather a really, really like hyper smart, like super computer-esque talking dragon, or dumb as a box of rocks dragon? Like you go to their ear and you breathe in, you hear a whistle dragon, like a really stupid cat dragon. Which one? Like no terror from this thing. Like no terror. Like it's a derpy face dragon.
It depends on in what kind of like setting, or if we're talking movies. But if it's a derpy ass dragon, yeah, I'd take the smart one over the one that.
So we're talking like Smaug levels of smart.
I was thinking more like Brainiac from Superman smart, like super computer, like hyper intelligent. Like it's gonna beat your ass in chess 5 different times over before you can even think about the first move. But on the other hand, dumb dragon, maybe cat size, like a cat size stupid dragon just running around your apartment causing shenanigans. I'm not necessarily saying for movies, but just like in general. Neither of them have malice, but they are avatars of chaos. Take your pick.
I'd probably go with the intelligent smart dragon.
I'd go for Derpy Kitty.
I know. So you're thinking like the dragon from Over or Under Over. What's the movie? The Pixar movie?
Oh, from Onward.
Onward. Yeah.
I was thinking more like the chicken from Moana, but a dragon.
Okay. So I just see it as
like
a dragon.
That's how dumb we're talking here.
Okay.
Maybe it even clucks sometimes. That's how dumb it is.
All right. So
let's say our names right now. It's that time.
It's that time?
Grades.
The grades.
You guys.
I'm probably going to give it a high C plus or low B minus. That was actually really fun.
It was fun.
The ending was a bit of a mess, though.
It was fun. I would give it a B minus.
Yeah, it was fun. Like, I'm gonna give it like critic grade C, me grade B, B minus. B minus. It's not a good movie, but it's fun to watch.
Come on.
I gave it a B minus.
What?
I gave it a B minus.
You gave it a C.
I said a C plus or B minus. I can't decide which.
Okay.
Because some parts were like, even without thinking, took me out of it, but other parts were like, this is really fun and this is really unique.
Anyways, Hector, what movie did you say you were going to pick?
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Next week, we are doing the palindrome, as Ruthie told me, movie, Tenet, because T-E-N-E-T, and backwards is T-E-N-E-T. And I'm sure that was on purpose. And I haven't seen the movie yet. But we are going to watch the movie probably more than once to understand it and see what we can fix, because people are not...
It might not be next week. It might be 2 weeks. It might even
we always do 2
weeks.
weeks. Yeah,
but it might be 3 weeks of Tenet.
Yeah, we're going to give ourselves... We might not have to, but we're going to see if we can give ourselves some extra time to understand this. Because supposedly it's really confusing at bits, so... Yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
We'll break out the chalkboard. Or like the cork board with the red string.
Yeah,
We're going to have to go to Home Depot and get that cork board.
Yeah. Alrighty, everyone. Have a good day.
Or night.
Bye.
Or night.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Today's film was Rain of Fire, directed by Rob Bowman. The writers were Greg Chabot, Kevin Peterka, and Matt Greenberg, and the cinematographer was Adrian Biddle. Go show some love to their various social media accounts, or some good vibes. They made a movie, which is more than we can say here. Wow. So, new year, new episode. And I'm not even late this time. Oh, and before I keep forgetting, big thanks to Jason, and thank you for the tech support at my and Hector's wedding. Yeah, stay tuned for our next episode. Tenet.